One of the things I always try to do when I'm writing is to look for modern parallels between our world and the medieval world. And one of the remarkable parallels between King John's time and our own is the question of invasion. King Philip of France saw John as a tyrant and not the lawful king of England. And he wanted to get rid of him, and he saw the people being terribly oppressed, which they were by John. And so he saw sending an army into England to overthrow John, and specifically to remove him as a tyrant, as an act of liberation for the British people or the English people at that time. The trouble was, the English people didn't see it that way at all. Much as they may have hated John, and much as they may have suffered terribly under John's rule, they were terrified of a French army invading them, because armies in those days weren't paid. They were brought over, and the only way that they could survive, the ordinary soldiers could survive, was to actually take food, wine, shelter, and valuables from the local people. And that's precisely what they did. That's how they kept themselves alive. That's how they funded themselves. So you can imagine the thought of a French army coming in, pillaging your village, taking anything of value, taking all your foodstuffs and doing goodness knows what, was an absolutely terrifying prospect to the English. And it's interesting that almost the same kind of language is being used now by people in the Middle East who see the reverse of the way we sometimes see things in the West, of what an army of liberation might do for them as well.